If you know the name Wanda Barzee, I wouldn't be surprised if your blood pressure just shot up upon hearing it again. In 2002, Barzee and her equally deranged husband, Brian David Mitchell, kidnapped Elizabeth Smart, who was just 14. They stole her from her bed inside her family home in Utah, and they kept her for 9 months, raping her every single day of her captivity. After Elizabeth was freed, she said Wanda was no passive actor in the crimes, that Wanda told her husband to do that in a crazy, twisted Mormon belief that Elizabeth was somehow a celestial wife, an extra wife. The couple even told police that what they did was God's will. Now Brian David Mitchell is locked up for life. Thank God, goodbye. But thanks to a couple of technicalities and a guilty plea, Barzee walked out of prison real early in 2018. And she's been free under supervision ever since. And what's she been up to? Not much that we know of until last month. That's when this 79-year-old parolee and registered sex offender did something that people like her are not allowed to do, and she did it twice. By her own admission, Barzee set foot in 2 public parks. Utah considers public parks protected places and sex offender free. So police arrested her and booked her, and please, oh please, tell me that they can throw her right back in the slammer where she should be for the rest of her life too. Stacey Honowitz spent decades prosecuting sex criminals and child abusers in South Florida, and she's here with some answers. Why is that woman not behind bars as we are talking?
Well, I mean, you're right. Everybody's blood should be boiling because sex offenders who then violate are of the worst kind you can imagine, especially in this case where she said God commanded her to go. She's not there because in Utah, when you violate these conditions, it's only considered to be a misdemeanor. And so I'm quite shocked that the prosecutor didn't ask for a psychological evaluation and keep her in custody when she was arrested on this. So can she get thrown back into jail? She can. Will it be for a long time? Unfortunately, no.
The frustrating thing is that she got out on a technicality. She should have spent a lot more time in prison, not as much as the awful sick husband of hers. But there she is smiling in her sex offender registry shot. And I guess the slap on the wrist she got is that she now has to report in every week instead of twice a year. So now 52 times a year instead of twice a year. What would it take, Stacey, to get her locked up for the rest of her life? What kind of infraction would put her away again?
Well, certainly if she violated by way of a sex crime. Right now, what you have is the arrest for failing to register or for violating the sexual predator registry rules. But if she committed another sex crime or another felony, that could send her back. But right now, we're saying that she's got to check in twice, more than twice a year, every single week. But there are other ordinances within the cities. There are other places, things that she has to register for. In other words, if she changes a residence, if she changes an email address, if she gets a new car, all of these things have to be given to the state so that they know what's going on. The whole purpose of the sexual offender registry is so we know where these people are and where they're operating. So now she was thrown in, she was arrested because she was in a park, and under Utah law, of course, the state says you can't be in a park, in a playground, near a school. There are these restrictions. So that's what we're looking at now to see where this goes. Will they file a separate charge for failing to register or for violation? We're going to have to wait and see.
I hope they get her again. I just, when I heard she was getting out, my heart bled for Elizabeth and my blood boiled for everybody. I'm going to call you again once we hear more about this. It is just unfathomable that she breathes the same air that we do. Stacey Honowitz, thank you so much.
Thanks, Ash.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.